Welcome to the LANCave, where we're living as nerds. I'm Patrick, joined by Owen.
Hello.
We're talking gaming, video game news, nerd news, geeky stuff. We'll ramble about all kinds of fun stuff, just whatever comes to mind. Mostly gaming news. If you've subscribed to us before, if you're listening to us, thank you so much. If you're one of our podcast listeners, thank you even more, because you guys are awesome and you're usually really quiet, but we want to give that thanks to you. Obviously, follow us on Facebook and YouTube and all those kind of things if you haven't already. But yeah, we talk gaming news and we like to have fun about that. Yeah, that's about it. And this week, Owen and I were just talking, saying we didn't have a ton of news until today. And today we got a pretty interesting Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into that.
Yeah.
I also wanted to know, because we occasionally break out of the gaming thing, what do you think about Batman shutting down
Oh,
again?
man. Okay, so I
had to get your take on this.
Okay, especially after seeing the trailer. I'm a huge Paul Dano fan as well, who's playing the Riddler.
Okay.
But after and Jeffrey Wright, who's playing Gordon. Huge fan of those guys. Robert Pattinson, having
Paul
seen him,
Dano, There Will Be Blood, right?
yes, exactly. Amazing performances out of that guy. Very serious thespian there. And Robert Pattinson, seeing some recent movies that he was in, like, I'm getting more and more hyped about the Batman. Teaser comes out. I'm like, this is really good. And then Robert Pattinson gets gets COVID. I felt like that, like the wind, just like that, like the air got let out of this balloon. It sucks for them production wise, because it's hopefully they're able to film other things, or if they can, in the meantime, and hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he hasn't gotten a bunch of other people sick. I don't know if they're like quarantining.
I'm sure they have to,
because that sucks. But at the same time, I'm like, if you have to quarantine and you're already, I know this is not this would go against every safety thing, but it's like, if you all have to quarantine anyways, then can you like get some work done while you're quarantined together? I just thought of it now. I'm like, that's terrible. No one would do that except for me, if it was me personally. But you can't convince like a crew to do that. But man, it sucks. I really hope he gets a speedy recovery and everything. But man, it sucks. They just started. I think they started filming like earlier this week or last week. So
apparently it's the second time that it shut down, which I didn't hear about the first time it shut down. So that must have happened earlier this year.
Yeah, shut down because of COVID in March.
Yeah,
so
okay.
they've
right
been
at the beginning.
Yeah, they've been on hiatus since then, because they were like, let's figure out what happens, let's settle everything, and then so they've been gone for like 5 months. And Jeffrey Wright was talking about, which, if you haven't seen him in Westworld, he's great in that. He's a great actor. He was talking about some of the scenes in the teaser they filmed like the day they shut down. Like the day they shut down, there were those shots are in the teaser. So they've been on hiatus for 5 months, come back, and then boom, they're gone again. Man, my heart goes out to like everybody on the crew, especially the director who's trying to. And what's the term for someone? Cass is probably kicking herself. Wanted to kick me. What's the term for the person who does like continuity? It's the line producer. I'm gonna get that wrong. Whoever does like continuity, like on set, where they like make sure the person's hair is the same. If they had a coffee cup in the left hand, they got to have it in the left hand again. So they have to track all of this. So when they come back, they have to make sure it matches up. Otherwise, it's going to look weird. It's crazy.
So the line producer is kind of like HR, so I don't think that's accurate.
It's not. I thought it was
their key manager for daily operations of a feature.
Yeah, film. I thought they did. I'm spacing on the name of it, but it's like someone. So, for example, we've been listening to the Office Ladies. So, plug to the Office Ladies if you haven't heard of them. It's Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey's show talking about the Office. It's wonderful. It's wholesome.
They're going through like every episode, right?
They talk about every episode. So we're like halfway through season 2 right now, and they were talking about like one of the whoever this person is does continuity on their set, and they were saying, hey, that take was great, and you had your coffee cup in your left hand or your pencil in your left hand, so you have to keep it in your left hand because you made that choice once. That is now how it works.
Script supervisor.
Script supervisor. I can't believe I was spacing on that. Thank you very much, because that was going to bother me. So the script supervisor having to keep that continuity and then keep all that in check. Otherwise, you have to just reshoot everything. But man, movie's supposed to come out October 2nd.
I can't see that, dude.
No, I don't think so.
October 2nd. It's supposed to come out October 2nd of this year.
Oh, no, next year.
Oh, yeah. I was like, there's no way.
There's no
coming out in a month and a half.
There are movies that you can do that with. There are dramas that you can do that with. Certain directors / editors, people who like do both.
Yeah, but there's way too much post in a Batman.
Way too much post. That's what I was going to say. Like, there's people who do movies now that they finish. They basically finish for the day, and then the director and editor go back for like 2 hours or so, edit everything together so everything is usable. It may not be finished, but they have exactly the take that they want. So then finishing the editing only takes like a couple days. But yeah, there's so much post in the Batman. That's not going to happen. Not at all.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you about before we get into actual everything, you said that you're going to play a little fantasy football this year. I want to know what thoughts are running through your head as somebody who literally, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, watches no football.
I watch zero football. Like, who is it, Mahomes, that was in that trailer? And I was like, this guy's talking about stuff. When you mentioned the name, I'm like, oh yeah, I've talked. Like, immediately, I'm like, I can think of like 3 people who have mentioned his name to me before, and I'm like, sure. Oh yeah, that's who. Like, my mom's really into football. So I'm like, my mom talks about him. He's a really nice guy. He's a really good player. I don't know if I've ever seen him play. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a single, like,
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't. I usually do. I did not watch.
He won the Super Bowl.
I know.
Okay.
So, like, I know it's one of those things, like, I know how the game is played. I know pretty much all the rules. There's like different rules that like come in that like I'm probably not going to be aware of. Like,
sure.
And if you gave me a quiz, like, it'd probably be funny. But I'm doing it kind of more because a couple of the people who I work with, as well as some people that I used to work with, are doing fantasy football together. And I'm like, that'll be kind of cool to do socially. It'll also be something, I'm probably still not going to watch, but I'm going to have to keep track of like what happened. Someone gets injured. I played years ago. I played fantasy football and did not keep track 1 week. And like 2 of my players got injured. And I didn't switch them out.
You got to set your lineups.
So if you don't know fantasy football, for those who play more gaming than fantasy football, you set your lineup for the week, and then the based on how those players perform in real life, that's how your team does virtually. Well, 2 of my players were injured. I did not swap them, therefore I was down 2 people. So yeah, I did not do well.
When's your draft? Is your draft this weekend?
Yeah, it's this weekend. It's Sunday. I've got it on auto draft.
Okay.
Because I figured, one, I have a feeling I'll be the guy who forgets and holds some stuff up. 2, the computer's going to make better picks than I will, at least from that. And 3, I don't want to slow people down. Even if I'm there making picks, I'm going to take forever trying to pick. I don't know who these people are. I probably can name like 4 people who play in the NFL.
Go.
And I was joking because but the next thing I was gonna say was you then would probably be like, no, he's retired. No, I can name one person. We've already named him now. So
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes. That's all I know. Wait, hold on. What's his name?
You're about to say Brett Favre. He retired a long time ago.
Yeah. So Brady.
There you go. Tom Brady still plays.
That's right. That's about it.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers plays locally for you.
Exactly. I was going to say, because he's right across the bay from me.
Go get yourself a Brady jersey. Let's go.
If I do that, it's going to be like if you wear a band's T-shirt and you don't know who the band is, like someone's going to do that, right?
In middle school, I did that.
You did that in middle school?
Well, so you know I was homeschooled.
I forgot. You were homeschooled.
So I was homeschooled until middle school, and then middle school rolls around. And I'm like, I'm going to go to homeschool, And so I get my mom to take me to Hot Topic because that's where all the cool kids shop, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm in like 7th grade joining public school for the first time. I get an Alien Ant Farm shirt. Alien Ant Farm. Never heard of them. At the time. Okay, I know who they are now, but at the time, never heard of them. The shirt just looked cool and it was on sale. And so my parents were cheapskates. They didn't buy like expensive clothes. Like I wanted a pair of Jeancos, and then she saw it was $70 and said no.
Same.
But I found the Alien Ant Farm shirt. It was on sale for $10. I get her to buy me the Alien Ant Farm shirt. That's the shirt that I wore. I still have it in my closet, by the way. I wore that shirt the first day I ever attended public school. Had no idea, couldn't tell you at the time a single Alien Ant Farm song. I just wore it because I wanted to look like I belonged in middle school.
Oh, especially like going into middle school, man. Middle school, like I mean, we're
probably, eat you alive.
Eventually, we're gonna talk about gaming on here, but
we are.
Middle school, man.
It's fun.
Middle school was rough for anybody and everybody. And I was really immature. Had no idea how to get. I had no idea how to get along with people my age.
Yeah.
But adults, completely fine with.
Sure.
But like people my age, it didn't make sense. I would make references. I would talk about things, and people would be like, "Oh, this kid's weird," they were my age. They weren't. It wasn't like this kid. They're like, "Oh, this guy's weird," and then no one talked to me. That was a lot of my middle school. So like, did anyone like come up to you and be like, "Dude, you like Alien Ant Farm? Me too," and you just like played it off?
They told me Alien Ant Farm sucked.
Okay.
So that happened. That was like, I was like, oh, I think they're awesome. Still having no idea. So I still have that shirt in my closet because I wanted to remember the first day that I went to public school.
No, that's awesome.
But that's me wearing a band shirt of somebody that I had never listened to. And I probably have only listened to Alien Ant Farm like one time since. At least I know who they are.
They have okay.
It's like their Michael Jackson cover, and like after that, it's like okay.
They had a song called "Movies," which was mediocre. I went to a festival where they played, and it was boring. They weren't bad. It was just very repetitive. And this is a festival where like also like Mushroom Head and Meshuggah played, who are like. If you think about it, like all their songs kind of sound the same, and I say that as someone who likes their music. Alien Ant Farm's stuff was just. It was so monotonous. Smooth Criminal was the best thing that they did. I was just thinking of like people who wear like the Nirvana shirts, they're like 16, and I'm like, okay,
they got the kid in the pool shirt.
That's dude. You know how old that kid is though.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. But yeah, that's just what I think about. Like if I wore that shirt, plus there's no way if anyone mentioned anything, it'd be the classic IT crowd situation of Moe's when he's like, "Did you see that ludicrous display last night?" That would be me talking about football, except without the accent. I'd have nothing to talk about. I'm
looking forward to seeing. So Patrick's going to send me his results.
Yeah,
I'm gonna analyze it. I have 3 drafts this week of myself. Patrick asked me to join his league, but it's not for money, so I don't play for free. Beyond that point, so we'll see if Patrick gets into it or not, and maybe he'll join some money leagues with me next year.
I mean, you know what? If I do well with it, because if I know what happened in post, like I'm like, oh, they did really well. Like if I'm watching from a statistic standpoint, I think it'd be fine with that. Obviously, it does not consume my time and energy. Last time that I played, I did watch football, and Whitney came home from work and she's like, "What the hell is this?" Like she walked in like, "Football." Are you even my husband? Yeah, it was kind of this situation. Like seriously, what's going on? And then I think after about 20 minutes, she was like, "Seriously, are we watching this?"
Yeah.
But yeah, we do talk about video games. You're playing Kind Words.
I did.
Are you continuing that, by the way?
No. I mean, it's a fun time. It was an interesting time. If you want to go back and watch my stream, I still need to record the video on it so I can actually talk a little bit more in depth about it. But I spent about an hour with it, and I really appreciate what they were going for. I don't really put myself out there that much. I keep I tend to I say that whenever I do put stuff on my Facebook with people that actually know me, but when it comes to strangers, I have a hard time like putting myself out there. But a lot of people put themselves out there in this game, and I spent about an hour just responding to people's like notes and trying to be nice and helpful, and you know, with the lo-fi in the earbuds, that was nice. And so
I was going to say, I figured the soundtrack out of everything on there, that was like what you were going to get.
I love lo-fi, man.
Yeah,
I love it. It's been a thing that I've gotten into in 2020. I had never listened to lo-fi and for even a minute before 2020 happened, and now it turns out that I like it a lot. So that was something that initially drew me to the game. I don't think I'm going to continue it though, because it's a thing of I'm not in the right mindset to really be able to take on that many people's problems.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't think
I even have a psychology degree on the wall.
I was going to say, but yeah, but like it's like
there's a reason that I didn't pursue it.
I was going to say it's emotionally draining. But what else you playing?
I picked up a little game that I put. I did my /played time on it because I hadn't picked it up in a while. But Final Fantasy 14. Baby. Full disclosure, I was a hardcore raider on Final Fantasy 14 several years ago. During when me and my wife were dating, we moved in together. I still continued, but when we got married, I quit raiding. And so I haven't played in about 3 years, but I did my /played time. I put 72 days. That's 72 real-time days, ladies and gentlemen, into my Final Fantasy 14 character. But I decided I wanted to scratch an itch. I hadn't played an MMO in quite some time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play. So I booted it up on my desktop and played it for a couple hours.
I've heard that it's much better on desktop, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
It's crazy how much I forgot.
Oh, really?
For how many days of playtime I put into this game, it's crazy how much I have forgotten about my own character, and that was a little sad to me. But I'll probably be putting a little bit more time into it as time goes on. She knows how time consuming it can be for me, so I can't do it too much. But I kind of want to play through the story. I kind of want to play through some dungeons again, there's that itch you want to.
Man, I've thought about playing some World of Warcraft again. Whitney and I played early on our marriage. Like a couple times in the first 3 years of our marriage, and it only worked for us when we were both playing, because if I played and she didn't play, like you're talking about the time sink, it can really get you. Both Owen and I actually enjoy our significant others. We like spending time with our significant others. So
she's pretty, man. I love her.
Yeah. So like gaming is like, I love gaming, but I also don't want to isolate myself for a considerable amount of time while my wife is not, while I could be hanging out with her and spending quality time with her. So if you can balance it out, it's awesome. Or like maybe, like you said, scratch that itch for a little while and then,
so I bought a month. I did a thing where instead of putting them into my credit card, I bought a month's worth of game time, and so that way I can kind of bounce it out. But I just had this. I've had it for a few months now, where I really just missed the game. That feeling, like you're talking about logging into WoW. It's like I spent so much time in this game. I made some good friendships that I haven't really maintained outside of the game, but inside the game, like there was a while where I started playing this game right after I moved out of my parents' house again. Right after I graduated college, I got into this game, got my PS4, which honestly, you mentioned playing better on desktop. It ran great on PS4. So there was a while where I didn't have any money. I'm living in my own apartment, and literally this is the only game I'm playing. So like this, like $13 a month, that was what I could afford to spend on video games. So I was playing that, and I loved it. I was playing literally every day. For a while and raiding 3 nights a week. And so it was just one of those things where it's like, I need to see this game again. And so I jumped in for a couple hours this week. I'll probably jump in a little bit more just to kind of play with my character. I missed my archer, my bard. She was awesome. So It was cool. It's cool. You know, you got to do that every once in a while. As someone who doesn't really replay games that often, just take that time, get those nostalgia feels.
I replay them every now and then. Like we're both kind of diving back into our history because I'm playing Resident Evil 2. And in playing Resident Evil 2, and there's some picture of myself over there. This is my stream of Resident Evil 2.
Decide which one looks better, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, please do. This is the remake of RE2, which I like a lot of it. I will say I'm playing on normal, like I'm playing on the second most difficult. Sorry, so easy, normal, and I'm surprised how many like headshots it takes to take down one of these zombies. Like I'm like, oh, I'm playing on easy, so maybe 2. No, it's like 4, and then they get up afterwards. So that's a little frustrating to me, because you don't get a lot of ammo, and when you not getting a lot of ammo, if you miss a couple of those shots, you're out of ammo. It sucks sometimes, but I'm enjoying it. Sorry, it's me fixing up a safe here. The puzzles are my favorite part of it. The exploration, not troubleshooting, like just the solving the puzzles. And for the first time in like years, I was scared by a game in this one because I wasn't watching what I was doing, and they jump you, as opposed to the original where you have the tank controls. The camera angle doesn't really change. In this one, if a zombie gets you, like the camera comes in like more dynamically. So like you're in a third person shot right now. If a zombie bites you, like like the camera comes back and down. It zooms in on him biting, and that got me because I thought it was in the clear. I didn't see one of them, so it wasn't like a set jump scare. It just happened to catch me off guard. And I'm really loving it. I'm glad
I could see from the remake perspective that like games where like Resident Evil traditionally to me isn't an extremely scary game whenever you look at it, and that's mainly just because the graphics were holding it back from being scary. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're
right. It was scary at the time. I feel like Silent Hill is a lot scarier whenever I think about it compared to Resident Evil. But then I was watching streams of Resident Evil 2 because everybody knows I'm not going to play this game.
The remake, right?
Yeah, of the remake. Yeah. And there was moments where I was like, nope. I said, nope, big old, no.
Yeah. So you're straight up the original, like because it's tank controls, like the scariest moments in there are jump scares because something like smashes through a window and you didn't expect it, or some of the cinematics, which are more, to me, more striking than they are horrifying. I mean, it didn't scare me; it just stays with you, like the classic. You probably I don't know if you remember that from like the trailer or the very beginning of the game. The first time your character sees someone being eaten by a zombie, like the zombie's like hunched over, and the zombie just like turns its face. And first of all, that was to see those kind of graphics in a video game was amazing already, but it was haunting and just stuck with me. But the jump scares in the second one and in the old school one is really what made it frightening. You're right. Silent Hills is more of the unknown because there's so many things, like you have no idea what's through the mist or what could be going on.
And it's just creepy. Like like Pyramid Man or whatever his name is. I just call him
Pyramid Head. Yeah.
Pyramid Head. Yeah. Cool. It's just a creepy villain, you know, versus like dead people. It's like, okay, zombies are, they can be scary. Yeah. They got their moments.
And I'll say the first couple Resident Evils, they're mostly zombies. And then every now and then it's something else that's infected. Like you have a weird, like a giant snake or a centipede or something like really odd. Like I fought sharks in Resident Evil 0. So while zombies are like the core, there's other things that like get in there, which I find can be creative. Resident
Did the Evil sharks have lasers on their heads?
They didn't, and I was very upset.
Rude. There's so many people that won't get that reference, but that's okay. I'm going to let it go. You just have to get that. You either get it or you don't.
Yep. And that makes me sad. You know what else makes me sad? And we'll actually go into some news on
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft kind of accidentally spilling the beans here on transitioning from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 and saying, hey, PlayStation offers a number of features designed to help you move to PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, but backwards compatibility no go for PS3, 2, and 1.
They've since removed this messaging, by the way.
So either one, they weren't supposed to say that, or two, it's not
Yeah.
quite accurate. Either
I'm
way,
probably going to go with the first one.
I think it's the first one. That does not mean that in the PS5 that Sony in conjunction with some of those developers might say, "Hey, let's port your game and resell your game for $5 or $10 on the PS5." I could
Sure.
totally see that because PS5 should be able to emulate PS3 games in a better way than PS4.
Which, by the way, I'm perfectly fine with. You want to charge me for porting? You deserve it.
Yeah,
You did work.
I'm
Take
complete,
my money.
yeah, I'm completely fine with it too. If it's a good port, I'm paying for. Sorry, it's like trying to transition here, but if it's a good port, I'm completely willing to pay for it. Owen and I have paid for tons of games to be ported, so put some Ubisoft up here while we talk. We've
Some
rebought.
30 frames per second Ubisoft if you're watching the video.
Oh, I have my classic consoles here, but like on the PS3, I bought Final Fantasy 7. I bought a bunch of retro games that are on there. I've repurchased ports of games because if it allows me to continue to play a game that I don't have the original system for, or maybe it's a little more convenient. Maybe you got your original system, but you don't want to dust it off. You're already playing your Switch. It just makes sense. So,
or there's a lot of cases where I just buy it out of respect. Like
too.
Final Fantasy VIII, as an example. I bought it on both Switch and PS4. I didn't play it on both.
Yeah.
I played it on my PS4 because I wanted trophies, but I have it on my Switch just in case. You never know.
We talk about that a lot because it's like out of respect, or also like I want to give money to the developers, and in those cases,
Square never gets my money.
Yeah, but like in certain developers, I'm like I want to vote with my dollar. And like actually, case in point, tomorrow I'm going to buy Mulan, streaming on Disney Plus.
Big same.
Because I want to watch it. 1, 2. I want Disney to see, hey, people will actually do this.
Big same.
Yeah, like that's so important to me. So same reason why we, again, voting for your dollar is so important. If you can do it, we encourage you to do so.
That is doing it.
Yeah.
Like vote with your wallet. Absolutely. If you don't have it, like it's just like the same thing that I say. If you don't like a practice, like don't do it. Like with Mulan, we're very similar in the sense that I'm actually looking at an ad for Mulan literally right now on my it's on my page because I wanted to bring up the fact that since Ubisoft first mentioned that the backwards compatibility thing wasn't happening, all that messaging has been removed completely. There is no mention whatsoever of even PS4 backwards compatibility. So that means Sony went in and went thump 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 thump. Excuse me, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm thinking from like a corporate level, like because the lawyers that get involved with this kind of stuff, this is huge. I mean, this is one of, we talk about the console wars and everything, but you're talking about two massive corporations who are launching massive products. Anyone steps out of line accidentally like this, I hope that person is still employed. And I'm not even joking. Like that could have been an honest mistake. Like we said, I'm completely fine rebuying the games. If you're porting it, give me, for example, like Metal Gear Solid 4. Sure. On PS4, give me it on PS5. I own it, but I will buy it again.
There's a lot of PS3 stuff that I'm willing to buy because I missed PS3. I was in college and I had a 360. Yeah. I didn't play anything from PlayStation 3 other than the stuff that they've remastered and brought to PS4. So I played Last of Us Remastered. I played the Nathan Drake collection. I played Valkyria Chronicles.
Kingdoms of Amalur. Then
I did miss Kingdoms of Amalur.
I was going to say, I have PS3 games sitting over here because I have my PS3 ready to go. There's a lot of cool PS3 games, some of which did not get brought over to PS4.
And I get that there's going to be licensing issues as well. But it's the thing of I'm willing to pay you if you'll do it. And so you'll also know if you listen to this show, no, I don't really care that much about backwards compatibility. It's not a console seller for me. I want the future. I want your Assassin's Creed game to be running at 60 frames per second. Like that's what matters to me when buying a new console. Yeah. But at the same time, I think this generation was the perfect gen especially after all the work that Xbox did with Xbox One, and the fact that Series X is maintaining that backwards compatibility. Like, if it's true, if you literally are not going to even acknowledge your older systems beyond PS4, that Xbox once again just has this consumer friendly look to them, even if they don't necessarily have all the new stuff. They don't have this new Spider-Man or the new Horizon, or that's fine. I can literally play everything. And like I've been saying it several times, like, they haven't sold me on a Series X, but like they're slowly selling me on something. Well, you know, Lockhart or whatever, like they're like, with Game Pass and the fact that it's like, hey, do you want to play old stuff too? Like, I kind of do, Xbox. I kind of do want to. I want to play some Fable 2.
Yeah, I have more games. I double checked in my digital library. I have more games in the Xbox digitally than I do PlayStation. I play more PlayStation than Xbox considerably, but I'm still a Xbox Gold member. So getting those games every month, I'm racking them up. And I looked, and like, because there's other ones that I buy if they're on sale, because I do like to go back and play games that you know, one day I may want to go back and play some Fable 2. One day I may want to go back and play what was the one I was just thinking about the other day, Wet on PS3. I don't know if you played it on Xbox. Really cool game. So there's a lot of games that I'm like, man, I'd really like to go back and play this, and I'll snag ones if they're dirt cheap. So I have a ton of Xbox games I can play on my Xbox One X that are 360 or OG Xbox. I never owned an OG Xbox. And I think I have like 30 or 40 games on there from free games as well as ones I snagged. So if I did upgrade, all of that collection comes with me. That's very consumer friendly. But at the same time, I still don't see a reason to buy an Xbox Series X right now.
It's looking more like a Lockhart for me, although moving, I'm going to skip a story for a second, but moving into what Nvidia
with you
just launched, man, those cards look sick.
I'm not going to joke. So I am considering building a PC for Christmas, because I do use it for the show. I play some games every now and then, but I do need the horsepower for what we do in the show and some other things. And man, that new what is the RTX 3080? I think it was. The
3080s just look so well priced. The 3090 is the big boy.
That's right. 3090 is what I was thinking of. Yeah, someone did a meme, had a little meme out that was like you know, PS5. Wow, these are finally catching up with PCs. Nvidia, boom, like just showing this massive thing.
They said the 3090 can possibly, with games, hit 8K resolution at 60 frames.
Yeah, 8K with 60 frames, and I'm assuming that they're also talking about some ray tracing in there as well. Because anything you add on top of that, it's not all about resolution. Resolution and frame rate are so important, but it's the combination of everything all together. And this is amazing, by the way. If you don't know what like, just having AI handle the graphics, molding things, creating things based on the drawings that someone else did. The GPU is literally able to it's mind-boggling, man.
What's crazy to me is even the price on this. Again, so I don't know anything about cards, you know, so don't talk to me about the tech. I really don't know. But like, I was asking and talking to some people about building a PC, but I don't need a Mac Daddy PC. I just need a PC that, like, I'm getting really increasingly upset, even with PS5, about not hearing 60 frames. Yeah, I want it. And so they announced this 3070, which is the lower end card, and they said that it's better than the 20, or it's going to be better than the 2080 Ti, which is one of the best cards out there right now, for $499. Like, again, that's the price of a console. We've talked about that before. The cost of entry on a console is just so much more inviting. I do have the luxury of having a little bit more disposable income, and if I could get a 3070 that could play my games at the frame rate that I want consistently, and I could build a PC for maybe around $1,000. If I could do that,
and that's
if I could build that with that card,
and that's when Microsoft has you,
and then that's where I'm in on that PC Game Pass.
Yeah, because you can get that hog of a machine, and Game Pass will eat those games up, man. My My GPU is mediocre. It was a budget GPU when I bought it.
You have like a 960?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
I'll have to double check. Like I didn't even like it. It was in there where it was like, here's the budget cards, and like I was like, oh well, this one is decently rated, but it's a budget card. Like so that's what it was. So to the point where one of my PC friends, like recently when I was talking to him, I mentioned it to him, and he was like, oh yeah, those things, you usually have one for like a year and then you upgrade it, and I've had it for
Yeah.
2, that kind of thing.
And then the 3080 price is sick too. Like, I mean, again, when I say sick, like we're all, relative numbers, but the 3080, which is from what I can tell,
700.
again, don't know anything, but it's a sick card,
Yeah.
$699.
Yeah.
And so if you have that little bit extra, and then there's the 3090, which is just ridiculous. I'm not getting that card, ladies and gentlemen. But
I misread when I was looking into this earlier, because I am thinking about buying a PC, or not buying, sorry, building my PC. I haven't built a PC in a while, and I was like, that'd be fun to do. I may get Whitney involved so she can see how it works, because it's kind of cool stuff. By the way, Doom, I think I'm going to go back and play that after seeing the new Doom DLC that's coming out.
I heard the DLC is dope.
That's what I hear. So like looking at that, I misread, and I thought, I'm like, man, this new massive card's only $699, and I was like, there's a chance maybe I splurge and I get the best card on the market for $700. Nope, $1599. Yeah. I misread it when I was looking at the prices earlier today, but man, I was at the same time like, I don't think I'm going to spend $699. I think I might spend that $499, because spending that, I'm going to have a card that lasts me a good amount of time. It's not buying you're buying Nvidia. You're not buying a budget, company that's making cheap parts, which like the soldering. That's actually one of the things when I had an issue with my PC a month ago or so. I know I talked to you about this. I didn't talk about it on the show. One of the problems was I had a surge. I didn't know that I had a surge that disrupted my GPU. That's why it didn't work. Was the card was not functioning. I couldn't figure out how to fix it. I brought it to a guy locally here, supporting local business, because I hit a wall and couldn't figure it out. And and he was like, oh yeah, you definitely had a surge because of this, and he's like, I went ahead and resoldered these things for you because they were done shoddily. Nice. And I'm like, really?
Get some new heat sink in there.
Yeah. So like I'm like, that's great. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, it's a budget card. You should probably replace it. But if you don't want to, you're probably still good for a year or two. I'm still going to replace it, but nope. He was like, with these budget cards, people just usually throw them out because things like that happen, and you just toss them and you grab something else. Anyways, I'm not as much of a PC gamer anymore, but at the same time,
I might be. I'm very slowly getting there. It's not because I don't love my console. It's just that, so I put Final Fantasy 14 on my desktop here. Yep. I loaded up my Xbox One controller that I have for PC gaming, and it worked just fine. And the only thing that I don't like about it, and I know you can hook a computer up to a TV, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to get a monitor for it. I'm going to get a good gaming monitor if I'm going to get a gaming PC. It's just, I'm getting to this point where it's just like, I want my performance, man. I don't even want the best of the best. That's where I'm looking at this 3070 card for 500. I'm not going to build a PC, people. I'm going to probably go to like iBuyPower, and I have a online friend who reviews computers for a living.
Okay.
And I'm going to send them a link, or 3, and be like, and I have a budget in mind, and would be like, hey, does this work? And I'm going to, if they say yes or no, because that's still the thing that I'm at with consoles, is I don't want to do the work. I would like to, here's my work. I want to pull out my credit card. Would like to swipe.
Man, time is money, man. Time is money. Like, no, I agree.
Me and Patrick have had this time with the show. Like, me and Patrick normally talk like a lot, and we haven't talked much in the past 4 or 5 weeks because I've been super busy at work and he's been super busy at work.
I miss you.
I don't have time to build a freaking PC, man. I want to just Robert's like, I just bought a new monitor.
Work life, work life balance is so important. right now I've got a lot of work and a lot of things I'm getting ready. You with work and the kid. I'm getting ready to have a puppy, so I'm like puppy proofing the house. And then we're gonna go pick him up. And then once that happens, like I'm gonna be busy. And I know it's not the same thing. Actually,
I'm just laughing.
No. Actually, I think I sent a polo to you and then I deleted it because I was rambling about that. Where I'm like, it's not the same thing. But like I'm like I can't compete with you, but I'm like getting ready for a puppy, and I'm like it's not the same thing because I'm gonna have him here. I work from home, and if I'm busy, he's gonna go in his playpen or he's gonna go in a crate. You can't do that with a toddler. I mean you could, but
every once in a while that would be nice. But yeah, no, it's more like we've literally been working on some of that this week.
Yeah,
while taking some time off of like trying to childproof.
Oh sure,
a little more, not a lot more, because we're still like it's a small house.
Oh yeah,
and so whatever room he's in, we're in, and so it's more like nope.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and my so I've trained puppies before, and the thing is like when you have a puppy, like a young puppy, it's like having a child, but it lasts for like 3 months. And then after that, like, so when the puppy's like 5 or 6 months old, he's going to be able to he's going to behave himself. He's going to be potty trained, and like, I'll still have to attend to him and everything. I'm still, I'm a big softy, but like, that's like 3 or 4 months that I'm going to do that. And then he's going to have the foundation where it's like, 6 to 7 years for.
So are you going up to 3 dogs?
2, because June passed away.
No, I thought you got another dog in the meantime though. Was that a foster?
So this is the one that I'm getting.
Okay. I thought there was a foster.
No, so I had Ridley and June. Junebug passed away, and this is one that we found and we talked about. I talked about it, but we've been waiting to pick him up because when we found out about him, he was like 2 weeks old. So he's 8 weeks old. Therefore, next Saturday.
So when the 2 weeks happened, I thought that meant you already had the dog. Yeah, so there we are. Okay. You see, me and Patrick communicating through podcasts.
Because we haven't been able to communicate a lot other than that. So no, and even then, like when we were like we kind of decided on him, Whitney and I were like, let's wait to post it because it's going to be a messaging thing and a perception thing, but exactly for that reason, because like people were like, oh, I thought you had the puppy already. Anyways, I will definitely show puppy pictures on the show if people want to see that though.
You won't be hard to convince.
Yeah, I know exactly. But speaking of things that are hard to convince, it's really hard to convince Xbox of giving us anything. We got a little tweet out here as a response. Oh, come on. We had a little tweet out here as a response to people asking about, the pricing and when we'll know. And I thought I had this queued up, but apparently I don't. So give me 2 seconds as I grab the screenshot right there. I understand everyone is excited to know and people want to plan for purchases, etc. We'll let you all know when we're ready. No, you need to let people know because we're all ready. We're not excited. We're frustrated, and some people, with COVID going on and everything. Obviously, these aren't for everybody, but I'm thinking, man, there's so many people out there who they may or may not be able to get it, and depending on that $100 or $200 difference of what the price is, that may tell them, oh, I'm not going to be able to get it until next April or what have you. Telling them now lets them understand, like, I can save this much or I'm not going to be able to get it. They know the prices. Come on. They know the prices at this point. They just need to announce it.
Oh, they 100% know. It's a
game of chicken.
It's the thing of who's willing to say it. Yeah, like you said, it's chicken. This is another reason why this Nvidia presentation was exciting for me and learning the prices and stuff, because I know how much the Nvidia card costs.
Yep.
They literally were like, hey, here's our new stuff. Mm-hmm. Here's how much it's going to cost. Here's the day you can get these fancy new cards.
Yep. And then you can...
I've known about this console and the other console. I've known about both of these consoles for almost a year. Yeah. And I still don't know when it's coming out.
I say Xbox we've known for even longer than that, but like we have no idea. We have no idea when it's coming out. And understanding the price and a general ballpark when it's coming out, which we kind of know the ballpark, maybe. But not knowing the price, these are things that consumers need to know to understand. Is this something that is attainable? It's not attainable. How much does the person need to save, per, every paycheck to get up to that point, if they want one at
Yeah.
launch? Maybe if they want one before Christmas, right? Maybe they're buying it's a parent and they're like, I want to get this for my son or my daughter, and we want to make sure that they get what they want for Christmas. The kid's already talking about it. My nephew's talking about it. I have no idea how much it is. That, and he's got a 1X. So I told my dad, I was like, it's cool if you get it, but there's no exclusives. So I don't know.
I mean, even with the PS5, it's just a thing of like, with both of them, I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting actively annoyed. I'm getting annoyed, and I'm trying to be a more positive person. Anybody who follows me personally on my social media thing, you'll notice that I've been not very negative lately, because I'm trying to embrace a different outlook in 2020. But when it comes to my video game consoles, it's like I want to plan, because not only do I want to plan in terms of money, even though I've had money earmarked, as I've said several times in the show, I want to take a couple days off, man. I want to put in some time. And I do tech support for a living. It's hard to put in time during the holiday season. I want to put in a couple days.
Now, like,
I want to be ready to play some Ratchet.
Yeah.
I want to play some Spider-Man. Like, and I understand that those might not be day and date launch titles, and that's the other thing that we don't know. Tell me when the console comes out, so finally your first party studios can be like, okay, Ratchet's going to come out this day.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to come out this day.
Yeah.
AC is going to come out this day. We know when COD's coming out, and honestly, even though I don't really want to support Activision right now because of what they've been doing politically speaking, they said that their game's going to run at 4K 120 FPS, baby. How can I not support that?
That's amazing. Is that running that on PS5 too?
That's what they said. They're on PS5, COD Cold War is going to run 120 4K.
I cannot wait. So I have my PS4 Pro. I love it. Whitney's playing Assassin's Creed in the other room right now. It's awesome. And
Odyssey or Origins?
She's playing Odyssey. Sorry, no, she's playing Origins. I apologize. She's playing Origins. Okay. She would like to beat all of them. Is kind of one of her like things that she would like to do, which she knows is a daunting task.
It's a lofty goal.
It is, but she loves the series. She loves the history. She loves and the graphics. Like, she'll be going through something and just stop and be like, "Look at this! Look at the textures and the graphics."
Do the pan.
PS5 is going to blow her mind, because she's seen a little bit of it, but it's.
And you have a nice TV.
We have a decent TV too, so I think that. Oh, and I meant to put this on the show, but I don't think we could dive into it too much. I was looking at some people's videos as well as some notes, and people were talking about there are stats that the consoles are touting. There are stats that they're touting when it comes to refresh rates, when it comes to all these different things. And they were like, there's not one TV on the market that has all the things. There's like, you can get a TV that has one or a TV that has two. Even the more expensive TVs don't have all of the things that PS5 and Xbox will. So they were saying, like, don't go buy a TV right now to pair with your console. Like, you're going to be fine with the TV that you have, especially if you have a 4K TV. And then if you upgrade like later on, then you can look at those things, because there are people already in articles that are out that were like, here's the perfect TV for your PS5. And I'm like, no,
you don't know. Don't listen to those like wait for ratings.com to do that, and they'll get you covered.
HD, I think, and I meant to look this up, we're still doing HDR10 when it comes to these, right? So so then you're good, like, as long as you got HDR10, which a crazy small thing to mention, but if you don't go into the settings on your TV and put the HDR mode on, then your PlayStation will say, oh, you're not an HDR TV, therefore I will not try to do HDR for you. So little tip there.
And when I say ratings, don't do the A, ladies and gentlemen. Do rtings.com. It's fantastic if you're looking about anything electronic.
Yeah. What's not fantastic is India banning some games.
Bummer.
I actually have to deal with a little bit of this with my work when it comes to like international laws, but India cracking down on a lot of games.
specifically from China.
Specifically from China, which is funny because India and China are the two that police their people when it comes to internet the most. Games coming out from Tencent, which is like PUBG and some others. I mistakenly missed this and thought it was just regular PUBG. No, it's specifically mobile.
It's PUBG Mobile.
PUBG Mobile. Yep. And just cracking down, which to me is killer. And TikTok's on that list too, isn't it?
It is. They banned TikTok first, and so honestly, first reaction for me was like, "Hey, good for you, India," because I've actually been getting a little set. I mentioned Activision and their politics upsetting me. They removed like a 2-second thing of Tiananmen Square from their Cold War trailer for the world, not just China, but for the world. They removed it from all their trailers, and we didn't talk about that last week, and I don't really want to talk about it now, but it upset me. To learn that. And so my initial reaction was like, hey, India, good job. And then I looked more into it. PUBG Mobile apparently has 50 million active users in it, and somewhere around 20 million users a day. And you're talking about people who make their living off of streaming PUBG Mobile. And I looked even further into it. Apparently console gaming in India is not a thing. Probably
because of the tariffs.
It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's just money. Like it's expensive, but everybody has phones, and Android completely like owns that. It's not an iPhone country or anything like that. It's just that it's all Android, and PUBG is the biggest game to them. Like imagine the user bases of like LOL, League of Legends, and Fortnite. And Fortnite has a bunch of users too, but just imagine that kind of level of number, right? But being put in towards PUBG Mobile, and then becoming a streaming thing for that as well, streaming via mobile. There's a lot of economic downturn with that happening, and so I became a little bit conflicted over it. It's like I like the idea of somebody being like, no, China, we're going to do this because PUBG is made by Tencent, which is a Chinese company, among 100 other apps. It's not just PUBG. It's just from the gaming perspective, PUBG was the biggest thing on there. But then to think about gamers, and that's what me and Patrick are. We're not gamers TM or anything like that. We're just we're gamers. We love video games, and like they don't have that kind of stuff there. They don't get to talk about PS5. I had somebody tell me like I sent my 64 to my family in India a couple of years ago, and they went nuts. 64. Wow. You're talking about a console I played in middle school.
Wow.
And their family went nuts over getting an N64. That's a big deal. And so, to have something like your mobile market and to have the biggest game in your mobile market all of a sudden just be cut off, that's a huge bummer. And so I hate that I had the initial reaction. I still stand by it a little bit. I still stand by being like, good job. I wish America would do that more. But at the same time, I feel from you from like a gaming perspective. I think that I need to look at that angle more often whenever I'm looking at that stuff. I'm like, how is it affecting my favorite people, the gamers?
Sure.
And that's a big deal. And it's a big economy there, apparently, a big streaming economy there. That stunk. So I wanted to bring up the story like, hey, that sucks. If I know any, like, I don't think we know anybody. I don't think we have anybody in that market or anything. But if you know somebody that's affected by that, like I truly feel like that stinks. I want everybody to play video games. It's my favorite art form of all time and will be probably for the rest of my life.
Dude, and I'm the same way. Like I talk about like my retirement is to go play video games. I don't like, instead of like the whole like, oh, I'm going to read novels. It's like, no, I'm going to retire and I got a backlog of video games I'm going to enjoy. I love it now. I'm going to love it when I'm old. I am with you on that. To summarize my feelings on it, I'm like, I appreciate that a country's trying to protect its people in regards to data, in regards to all of that when it comes to a Chinese company, which is really what it boils down to. I wish that they had done it in a way that did not affect the gamers. That's the thing that really, really bothers me when I see countries like India and Brazil where they can't get it's because of the country. It's not just the money. It's like the import of the consoles is so expensive. It's not just like, oh, I can't afford a PS5 because it's $500. It's like, I can't afford a PS5 because it's going to be $800 in Brazil because of import taxes and all this other stuff, and then it'll be stolen. So Speaking of N64s, though, we got this is the thing that we've been talking for quite a while on the show. I thought this was going to be the biggest thing, but we had a Nintendo Direct specifically on Mario's 35th anniversary, and I'm so happy. We were
Such a great
rumored
Direct.
to have this coming on. You mentioned it. There's a lot of people who mentioned a rumor of specific classic bundles together. And boy, we got more than we thought we were going to get with that. I'm loving everything from here. I'm gonna just start off with the thing that I'm like, I feel like there's no reason that I need this at all, but the Mario Kart Live, like I don't need this.
I can't get it because my kid and my dog and my cat.
Right? I'm like, I have the dogs, and my dogs would go after it, right? My dog / and new dog. I'm like, I have no reason to get this thing.
From a COVID perspective, this thing is so dope.
It's so beautiful, though. I love it to be able to play it around your house. Kevin sent me a polo, and he was talking about like getting it and having the girls like play Mario Kart around the apartment, around the house, whatever. I think it's amazing. It's such a cool thing, man. If I was a kid, this would be like one of the coolest things like ever. It's playing sick. Mario Kart on your Switch through your house on a track that you designed is so cool. It is so cool. I have no reason to get this other than if I wanted that Mario to like sit up on my shelf.
I'll probably, I mean, depending on how much it costs and everything, I still might end up getting it anyway.
$100.
Okay.
$100. $100 for Mario, $100 for Luigi.
Okay.
So that's where I'm like,
Robert said, I'm buying it all.
Like I'm literally like watching this trailer, and I played it for Whitney, and she's like, okay, like she at the same time she's in the mindset of like she wants Nintendo to like branch out and like do more things other than Mario, and I'm like, I get that, but it's Mario's 35th anniversary. Let's just enjoy it.
What else could you like? From a driving perspective, from a kart racer, like this makes so much sense. I saw it at first. I was like, "This is ridiculous," and then I was like, "This is ridiculous!" Like just that tone shift of like imagining what you could do in terms of building it through your house, and the fact that it's just these cameras on these carts, and so like you can do whatever stupid dumb stuff, and like the TikTok videos that are gonna come from this kind of thing.
Oh yeah. And honestly, that's what I was thinking. Like, if I get it, I'm probably going to get it, and I'll play with it like once, and it'll go on my shelf. Which at least I'll get more use out of it than I got out of the Switch. What the heck's that? The cardboard thing that Labo. So it was spacing on the name. Like I got that. I did a video of me like playing, like messing with it a little bit, and I'm like, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting, but I got enough things that I'm doing in my life where I'm like I just couldn't. But at this thing, I'd probably play with it like once or twice, and then Mario would sit on my shelf, which honestly, it's a really cool looking Mario. So
yeah, it's sick.
I don't have a problem with that.
The thing that I want to sit on my shelf, I want that Game and Watch thing, dude. I don't think I'm going to be able to get one.
You think because it's limited edition or not?
I want it, dude. It looks so cute. The screen on that thing looks sick.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the nostalgia in this, man. The nostalgia. So,
dude, Game and Watch is so classic. There's a lot of youngsters that are like, "What are you talking about? Like that? You mean the Smash Brothers character? No, I mean
it's like no,
the Game and Watch.
Like you could play games like." This is mobile gaming back in the day, man. It was this or the Tiger Electronics. Like that was your choice. Like, I mean, we're talking about
the Aladdin game. Hate that thing.
Like, yeah, I mean, that may be something cool to get. Like you said, like you may not even be able to get one, but that may be again something cool you can play every now and then. But also a nice display piece because we like our display fun
sick.
Stuff. So cool. It looks good. It looks like it plays pretty well too.
And this is a thing where like, so my very first game. This is my first game, and I know that's the case for a lot of people. But I was 3 years old whenever I first played Super Mario. Okay. Imagine my 1-year-old son just coming up, a year or two from now, and I have this little cool Game and Watch thing, and I'm like, "You want to play a video game, kid? Here you go." Here we go.
I love that you're going to expose him to like what I would consider like real gaming, and by that I mean like it's challenging. Like they're good games, but they're challenging. Super Mario 3, I think, is like one of the best in regards to that. Which I'll pivot to that as we're talking about. Super Mario All Stars will be coming to Switch if you have the Nintendo
The
Online.
online, yeah.
So Mario 3 may be one of the greatest games when it comes to it's challenging, but it's so fun. But it's still challenging. You can lose, and the game it punishes you for losing, but it doesn't feel like it's unwinnable. Mario 1 is difficult. Mario 3 I think is a little easier. Like real Mario 2, like Japan Mario 2 is crazy hard. But this is Mario All Stars, so it has Mario 1, 2, and 3, and I believe it should have Lost Levels on it, which
Lost
is
Levels. It has Mario 2
there you
on
go.
it.
So cool. So for those who didn't know, Lost Levels is the Japanese Mario 2 that was allegedly too hard for us here, so we didn't get it. So this will be on. I really wish that this was available to purchase. It's only available for Nintendo Online. If you have
That's
Nintendo
fine with
Online,
me.
what's that?
That's fine with me.
Right. At least you
I'm gonna
can
pay for the service. It's one of those things where it's like you're already getting my $20 a year.
at least you can buy 3D All Stars
For a limited time.
for a limited time, which I messaged you earlier because it's a limited time. There's a limited run, right? It's not limited edition, but it's a limited run of physical copies, and when those are out, they're out, and also the digital. The digital will go off the store in
Yeah.
March. So you buy it now, or you buy it before March. I can't remember the exact date, but basically buy it early. Nintendo's not going to discount this thing. So buy it if you want it digitally. Buy it.
I
In the time.
pre-ordered literally right before we went live.
Same. So I'm pre-ordered with it. I pre-ordered it earlier at a GameStop because I wanted to talk to them about
I just got it
PS5
digital.
and see if they, not that they would have anything, but I was like, "Are you guys even collecting like numbers or anything?" He's like, "Nope, can't do it." So, and I figured they wouldn't, but got my pre-order for this physical edition. Like I said, is going to be a limited run. If you're a collector, shelve it, I guess. But from a digital standpoint, it will still be limited Disney style, Disney Vault, which is funny. You responded,
So dumb.
right? You responded, hey, that's some Disney Vault stuff. Kevin said the same thing. To release it, get everyone excited, and then only allow people to buy it for 5 months. That's killer, man. That's killer.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. I get
From a digital standpoint,
I don't get it unless they're just gonna come out unless they're making like a rolling thing. I do have a feeling that they're gonna roll this into Zelda's 35th anniversary, and that there's gonna be a similar thing that comes after March next year, maybe even next fall of next year, depending on how COVID's going. I just don't. I get a limited physical run, maybe. But at the same time, I'm just like, why? Why are you doing this? Like, I don't get it.
Because Nintendo wants people to buy digitally. They get more money off of it. Less people are buying physical copies.
I already did.
That's part of the how we are in the 21st, not just 21st century, just 2020. It was 2019 was that way. I get that from a physical standpoint. From digital, I don't understand it. I will say, notably on here, Mario Sunshine 2 and Mario Galaxy 2 are absent.
There is no Sunshine 2.
I thought there was Sunshine 2.
There's Mario Galaxy 2.
Mario Galaxy 2. I thought there was Sunshine 2. Okay, so Mario Galaxy 2 is absent from this. I think they're going to release it separately, meaning after March. After
maybe
March.
DLC.
I don't think they'll release DLC on a game that they only have available for 6 months, though.
I don't know. Everything's weird to me about this, but I went ahead and pre-ordered it. You probably should too. If you don't get the physical, I understand why if you're upset. Sure. I pre-ordered it digitally because I don't care. Yeah. I want it on my Switch. I want it on my account. That's the thing that's the most important now is Nintendo with the Switch now has your Nintendo ID. That account is linked. Like theoretically, Nintendo doesn't be stupid and your purchases will be good going forward. Yeah. Who knows though, because Sony, we see Sony and what they're doing with PS5 and there's a problem there, but like I want it and I got it.
Well, I mean, it's and it's going to be with you, because you have it. You'll still be able to download it, like as long as you have a Switch. Hopefully, the next generation that they go through, that you'll be able to, still be able to play it. To me, I never played Sunshine because I didn't have a GameCube.
Same.
So
I had a GameCube for a very small amount of time.
I borrowed a GameCube to play Wind Waker. Yeah. That's my experience with GameCube. I played it at played some stuff at a friend's house. Actually, it was Smash. I played Smash on GameCube and I played Wind Waker on GameCube. I know there's other things on there that were good. but I didn't have it, so I'm excited to play Sunshine on here. Whitney was watching the trailer and literally said, "I've never heard of this game." Like, and she loves Mario, and she's like, "How have I not heard of this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's on GameCube," and she's like, "Oh, that's why." Because
Apparently, a lot of people think it's like their favorite, which I'll find out too because I didn't play it. I honestly, I was more sitting watching the trailer and like just hearing the 64 soundtracks.
yeah,
And like I remember the moment that I had the 64 in my room playing Mario 64 and like those first few worlds, like even in this trailer you're chasing the penguin like I did, and I even accidentally did the sound on the podcast, which Patrick will probably edit out maybe, like where it's like and like you're chasing the penguin like I'm excited to play that again. And then I never I didn't play or beat Galaxy either, and so this is going to be great for
Galaxy's good. Galaxy's good. Yeah, Whitney. So Whitney played Galaxy 1 and 2, beat them both. She's playing Odyssey right now. Like she, as much as she's, she's not being a curmudgeon. She wants to see new, different things. Like, and she was like, Nintendo needs to stop resting on their laurels. I'm like, yeah, but it's making them so much
me.
money,
Don't
and
do
it's
it,
so
Nintendo.
good.
Keep resting on those laurels.
Yeah,
Give me my Breath of the Wild 2.
give me Breath of the
Give me my
Wild too.
Metroid. Give me Metroid.
I'm
Give
good
me
with
more
that.
Kirby.
And then they got
Give
some
me
interesting
another
stuff.
Mario Kart.
Mario
Dude, this is
Battle
dope.
Royale. That's cool. That's really cool because we're talking about a difficult game and being able to knock other people out. So this is very similar to the Tetris 99. This is immediately what I thought of when I came to
It
this. This is
is completely.
Hmm?
No, I said completely. Tetris 99.
Yeah, so it reminded me of Tetris 99. This is a limited time on online as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm shaking my head because again I don't understand.
I don't
Because
understand
Tetris
that either.
99 still is on there. I was like, this is so
Yeah,
great. Why would you take this away?
that's how I felt about it. I was like, I don't understand why you would have this this only there for a short amount of time. When other things, I mean, I can imagine people would continue to play this and continue to enjoy it, and continue to challenge and continue to get better at it. And you're gonna have better, like, people, getting better and better and understanding the worlds, which, that means you just need to change up the worlds. And if Mario Maker taught us anything, you have enough creativity. Look at that. That stuff's so different.
Imagine if they do Zelda randomizer for the Zelda 35th anniversary as like a battle royale. Oh.
That'd be so cool. That'd be
For
really
those of you who haven't played LTTP randomizer, it's a great time.
so good. So good. Would you I was say, like, the only thing that I was like meh out of this was the 3D World Bowser Fury. Like, not that it was bad. I was just like,
I'm fine. Like I didn't play it on Wii U, and
Yeah.
so I'm probably gonna end up buying it. I've heard it's a good co-op time, so it's probably a game that maybe you should look into since you co-op more than I do. I had to ask some people. I'm like, can you carry? Because if I was to play it with like a Theodore in a year
Sure.
or two, can I carry him?
Yeah.
And that's important. And they said as long as you don't die at the same time.
You can
And I was
carry,
like,
and
okay, cool.
I think they can bubble too. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as you don't die at the same time, you're
yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So it'd be a great game to play with him. Like, because I played this on Wii U, and that's where I was like, I mean, I guess because I have it on Wii U, I was just jaded about it because some people didn't have Wii U, so they didn't have it or they don't have one. Also, by the way, Wii U prices on the like surprisingly staying pretty decent. Like, if you look at and by decent I mean staying strong on the, like, sellers. Like, if you're trying to buy one used, the prices are staying because they didn't make a ton of them. What's that?
Because you can hack them.
Well, that too. You can hack them, but which I haven't hacked mine, but I hacked my minis though, so I can't really complain. But
Sure.
I liked the Wii U. Like, people. Also, the other reason that the cost on there was high was because the gamepad is linked. You can't buy the gamepad separate. So, like, if you buy the console, it doesn't have the gamepad. Yeah, you're kind of SOL on a lot.
You're
of
not going to
things.
have a good time.
No, you're not.
So it's fine. I wasn't mad on it. Is more like I got what I wanted. I got
Sure.
I got Mario 64 on the Switch, which is ultimately what I wanted. Getting Sunshine and Galaxy is good. The Mario 35 Battle Royale was dope.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that I can somehow land one of those Game & Watch Super Marios. That would be sweet. But it's not anything that, like, I'm super whatever. about. I thought it was a great presentation.
Yes.
It was like 15 minutes. So if you guys want to go watch it, you can.
Very honoring of like what
Yeah.
the IP that made Nintendo. I mean, that's really what put them on the map. Zelda's great and everything, but it's Mario that put Nintendo on the map. And I like it from a preservation standpoint. There's so many games you can, well, other than the ones they're timed on, there's so many games you can play on the Switch that are OG Mario. So
Yeah.
I like
Good
it.
stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Got my pre-order in just so that I don't miss the March. There was no way I was going to miss that March window anyway, but I did it just because you never know what's going to happen. When somebody, if hey Rob, like whenever you get the Game and Watch thing, if you can pre-order too, because Rob's got those GameStop connections.
Yeah.
So if you can get two,
yeah,
we'll work out a deal, bud.
Yeah, like I don't know if they're pre-ordering those. I know that I should.
I looked on the website.
Gotcha. I should have asked, but yeah. So keep an eye out for that because I think those are going to be not only something that's hard to find if you care about it being a collector's thing. If you want it on your shelf because it just looks cool, you may want to grab it. Yeah. So good week overall. Let us know what you thought of the Nintendo Direct. Let us know what you thought of
favorite Mario game.
What's your favorite Mario game? And let us know when the last time you played a Mario game was. Was it this year? Is this like getting back into playing a Mario game you haven't played in a while? Or are you still playing Odyssey because it's that good? So let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.